Hi guys, Diane here. I just want to take a couple minutes today and talk to you guys about something that I hear so often and I read about it so often, and I know that you guys do too. And that thing is automations, right? Like, how many of you guys have heard, oh, you should automate as much as possible, or, build your automations, build your workflow, build your automated funnel, things along those lines. Those things pop up in all of our feeds, and I'm sure that every coach, every guru, every platform out there that has a software is saying the same thing. They're saying that automations are like the holy grail in your business. And in a lot of ways, they are. Automating a lot of your repetitive structures, a lot of your repetitive processes can save you a ton of time and money. I don't need to go into all of the reasons why you should automate, but what I want to address today is why automations are so hard and why you might be struggling with automations, right? Because automations can, first of all, seem kind of amorphous. Like, what is it actually? Do you need a tool? Do you need a platform? Is it in the cloud? Is it this, map? What is it actually, right? Like, that's the first piece that throws a lot of business owners off when they first start with their automation of their processes, of their systems, of their tools within their businesses, that they don't actually understand the concept of what is automation and what can you automate and what can't you automate. And then the next big piece of that, the biggest piece actually, is the fact that, you don't know what you're automating. Is you don't have a full idea of what are all of the workflows, what are all of the pieces within the sequence. Automating just one small part of your process, say take like, your marketing process, and you want to automate your email list, which is very common, right? Like, super straightforward. A lot of people talk about this. A lot of tools and platforms have this ability, this capability built directly into it. But when you automate your emails and you don't understand the context where the emails flow, how does the emails connect with your marketing, connect with the next step within your process, within your funnel, within bringing people to the next phase, the next step or progression with you, if you don't have a clear idea of what that is or what those processes are or the overall structure of it, that's why it is so hard to automate. And that's why you will struggle trying to do it, because you don't actually have the full concept. What is the full picture of what you're automating? And then when you are in this place, what usually happens is you'll automate a small piece of it, and then you'll automate another small piece of it, and then you'll automate another small piece of the overall process. And then before you know it, you have a bunch of automations that don't speak together, that don't sync with each other, that just leads to a bigger mess because there's no alignment between the tools. All right. So that's why automation is such a challenge in the first place. And if you actually have moved past that and you've actually started doing the automation piece, next part becomes the next reason people are not able to get a lot of traction with it, or why it becomes so difficult, is because of the resourcing, the collateral required to automate. A lot of people think like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go into my ConvertKit, I'm going to go into Infusionsoft, I'm going to go into Aweber or whatever email marketing platform you use, and I'm going to build all these things. They give me all the templates. It's going to be great. It's going to be easy. It's going to save me a ton of time and money, and I don't need any help doing this. I can just knock it out in like, maybe an hour or two one afternoon. And this is something that I see so often, and it automatically becomes a frustration point when you actually get into the weeds and you actually start to do the build for these automation sequences, because you don't know where you're going, so you're already a little bit frustrated and flying blind. I know that a lot of you have been there, and I've certainly been there as well. And then what happens after that is like, oh, I don't have the materials that I need to actually do this. I don't even, because I don't know what my overall process is, I don't know the full scope of it, I don't know what collateral materials I have. Now I'm building everything on the fly, and this 2-hour project that I had built out in my head is now a everyday thing, or it's kind of consuming your life, or it just sits on the back burner. Or what happens most frequently is that you just forget about it altogether and you push it off to the side and you don't end up doing it, right? Even though you're like, oh yeah, I keep hearing about automations, I should do it, it never really becomes an important project because it's really tough to get traction. So that is the reason why, if you are in this automation kind of a little bit of a nightmare or automation overwhelm, it's because of these two reasons. Because you don't understand or you haven't built out the full scope of the project. And because of you don't have the full scope of what you're automating, you also don't have the collateral materials required to make it quick and efficient. And then when you layer in the complexities of like learning a new platform, learning how to do automations, and trying to figure out what your process is along the way, this is a recipe for disaster, a recipe for pure overwhelm when you're trying to put it all together. All right. So, if you are in a place where you need help or feedback, kind of considering what is your workflow, what is the automation, like what is the process map, certainly reach out to me. This is the area that I play in all the time, and I'm happy to provide you guys with feedback. Or you can grab a quick call on my calendar. We can talk about it directly. How can we get you automated quickly and easily with as little stress as possible? All right. So until next time, bye guys.